And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, just a quick one before we actually do get into the content. I'm just sorry for my lighting, currently having an issue, but that'll be sorted for tomorrow, so sorry for if it does seem a bit dark in this room. But guys, as always, we are here to round up all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours, and actually we have got an interesting one for you, as there has been a huge transfer twist and Liverpool could now be set to sign a midfielder after a shock reveal. That comes from a very reputable source, guys, so we'll get into that very soon. But first, let's go through this one. Following claims that Liverpool could intensify a pursuit for Porto defensive midfielder Alan Varela, senior sources within the club have now responded. After speculation a year ago while Varela was still at Boca Juniors, it was claimed in April that formal talks had taken place over a transfer. These reports came from the midfielder's native Argentina, while this week saw further claims from Spain via South American journalist Eduardo Burgos. Burgos wrote on Twitter that Liverpool were set to intensify contact for Varela, adding that it is expected that they will soon open negotiations with Porto for his transfer. The natural number 6 is reported to have been watched by club scouts on a number of occasions and is available for around £60 million due to a release clause in his contract. But as per inside Liverpool sources, those within the Anfield hierarchy are baffled by the ongoing claims of interest in Varela. Senior figures have dismissed genuine interest and believe the 22-year-old's agent must be the source of the reports from South America. While on paper Varela may have filled an obvious void in the squad if Arne's slot has inherited, it is perhaps no surprise that these reports have been given short shrift by Liverpool. He is far from the first such midfielder to have been touted to the Reds in recent transfer windows, with Manuel Ugarte, João Paulina and Manu Kone also on that list. There is yet to be any indication how Liverpool will approach any recruitment as the new setup takes shape, though plans are being helmed by sporting director Richard Hughes rather than Slot himself. That could cast the net wider than under the previous regime, with more recent arrivals dictated by Jurgen Klopp and his coaching staff than themselves. Portugal had been considered a regular source of targets, including Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, but sources' update on Varela is evidence that this will now change. So again, there has been a lot of reports with regards to Porto's midfielder Varela, and that the player will not be coming to the football club. Well, not necessarily not be coming to the football club. Liverpool sources in the hierarchy are stating that these claims are wide off the mark. Just a quick one, guys, before we do get into today's video, I want you to check out the channel's official clothing store, Clothing. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Anfield, down your local, or cozy in the comfort of your own home. Do browse our big collection by going down into the link in the description or going to clothing.com. Thank you, and let's get into today's video. Now, in other news, guys, Doak can't wait to get back kicking a ball again, having rejoined full training after knee surgery in December, as he has an eye on a place in the Euro 2024 squad with Scotland. Doak has not played a minute of football since undergoing surgery to repair his MCL at the end of last year, but is a part of Scotland's provisional squad for Euro 2024. That underlines the belief in the 18-year-old's ability as a potential game changer at the tournament in Germany, though his place in the final group is not yet guaranteed. He will be the first hoping to make an impact in friendlies against Gibraltar on Monday and then Finland on Friday, which would mark his return from the long-term injury. Speaking in an interview for the Scotland national team's YouTube channel, Doak gave an insight into his recovery. He said, "I was training on my own for a while, just desperate to get back in, but the physios just told me, look, you're not ready to take your time, you'll be in when you think you're in the best shape. I went back into training last weeks of the season, so I've been training for maybe around 2 or 3 weeks now and I feel great. I just can't wait to get back kicking a ball." Doak added, "Before I got the injury, I played a fair few games for the first team. I got my first starts. It was pretty difficult for the young players to get into the squad at the time. Obviously, as the season went on, with all the young lads at Liverpool started to do well, scoring a few goals here and there, so it was gutting to see that. But when I got injured, just the kind of put in the Euros to get them back in my head, I wasn't expecting to even be back fit but in this time, but here I am. The teenager's chances of making the final squad took a bittersweet boost on Saturday when striker Lyndon Dykes was ruled out of the Euros after suffering injury in training. Manager Steve Clarke now only has one player to cut from the 27 training, though there is a chance that the under-21s forward Tommy Conway is called up. Doak appears like to make the plane to Germany, however, and believes he's gained vital experience in his 5 outings for Liverpool in the campaign just gone. Us being in the Europa League really helped, he reflected. I started in the League Cup, I did decent there, then 2 or 3 Europa League games, did decent in those. There are 1 or 2 where I was just okay, but it was good to learn what it's like to play away in Europe. It's a lot tougher than what you think, but that's only going to get better as you play anyway. It was a really good experience and it was good to get a few games under my belt. The deadline for the nations to submit their final squads for Euro 2024 is June 7th. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Doak coming out, of course, and speaking about his recovery, speaking about the upcoming Scotland national team, and of course his chances of making it to Euro 2024. So very, very exciting stuff there. Now, guys, into some transfer news. Of course, we are going to discuss the huge transfer twist, whilst also discussing the player that could be set to leave us after 19 years at the football club. But there has been a huge twist, as stated, guys, as Bayern Munich, according to Florian Plettenberg, a very reputable source within Germany, has stated that Bayern Munich have ended their interest in Azan Ouedraogo and has claimed that Liverpool are now in the race to try and sign him. Yes, Liverpool are among the English clubs reported to be interested in Schalke midfielder wonder kid Azan Ouedraogo, who is available for just £12 million. Ouedraogo was linked with a move to Anfield in October, when Liverpool were named along with Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Brighton, Everton as suitors. Soon after, talks with the 18-year-old's camp were reported in Germany, with the Reds one of several clubs making contact with the representatives. 8 months later, and Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg claims that Liverpool, Aston Villa and Newcastle have all made contact to gauge interest in a move to the Premier League. Plettenberg claimed on Saturday that Ouedraogo was waiting for a call from Bayern to determine whether he would land his preferred move to Munich. But the journalist has since reported that Bayern have now officially informed that the youngster that they would not be pursuing the deal with Schalke. That's opened up the prospect of a move to Liverpool, who would be able to take advantage of his £12 million release clause in the player's contract. The clause is strictly for Premier League clubs, and Plettenberg claims that it must be activated by mid-June, setting a clear deadline for interested parties. Ouedraogo made his debut for Schalke in the first team in July, becoming the club's youngest ever and goal scorer as he netted in a 5-3 defeat to Hamburg. He has been used in a variety of positions throughout his young career, but is now settling to life into the midfield, with comparisons even drawn with Xabi Alonso. The Schalke midfielder is more of a natural number 8 than a number 6, and he has potential to be a difference maker in the games with his eye for goal and incisive passing range. Goals James Westwood wrote in a profile on Ouedraogo in April. The teenager stands at a lofty 6'3", but Westwood explained that he is surprisingly nimble for such a tall player and an accomplished ball carrier who has no trouble operating in tight spaces. It remains to be seen, of course, whether Liverpool's reported interest will develop into a concrete move, but with the clock ticking, we could discover sooner rather than later. So yeah, an interesting one there, guys. Of course, a wonder kid out there in Germany. Bayern have now ended their interest in the player and are not going to be making a move, which does come as a bit of a shock out in Germany. A lot were expecting the player to go there, but does, rightfully so, open the door for us to potentially make a move. Now, moving on to a player that could be leaving, guys. Yes, Liverpool will see one of their longest serving academy players on a free transfer, with the League Two side already confirming their interest this summer. Yes, having joined the academy as an under-6s player and turning 24 last year, Adam Lewis has been on the books of Liverpool for almost 2 decades. That association, though, will end this summer when the left-back's contract expires, with the scouts are already prepared for a move in his departure from Merseyside. Lewis has spent the past 2 seasons on loan with Newport County in League Two, and the Welsh club have already confirmed their intention to sign him on a 3 transfer. So there you go, guys. He can, of course, leave, and as always, when any Liverpool player leaves the football club, I like to wish them all of the best. But Liverpool fans, that's all I've got for you today, guys. Do let me know your thoughts on the young midfielder that we could potentially get, and is he a player that you would like to see at this football club? Also, let me know your thoughts on the transfer window in general and how many players do you think will sign this summer. Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.